Hello and welcome back to Friday with me, Dean, Heather and Jessie, and we're here to review, what's it called again, a dark hallway? Down a dark hallway?
Down a dark hole.
It's a very bizarre name
Down
because
the dark hole.
there's so many other names you could have given this movie. Like crap. Hello, welcome back to Friday with me, Dean, Heather and Jessie. We're here to review Down the Dark Hole. Did you get it right that time?
Yeah, I think so.
Good. As always, we are going to review the introduction, the characters, the plot, and of course, the climax.
There was one.
If there was a climax. It feels like it should have ended in... we're getting too far ahead. We skipped it all and went straight to the climax. We'll focus on the introduction. Can you remember the names of the characters? Of our main character.
No.
It was Kit.
I thought it was Kathleen.
It is, but their nickname's Kit.
Oh, right.
Not Cat. Kit.
Got issues, hasn't she? But she's in trouble at school.
Because she tried setting fire to the school, didn't she?
Yeah.
She's a very naughty girl.
She's like mentally disturbed. Because she's really disrespectful to her stepdad.
Her flaw comes from the fact that her real father died when she was 6 years old.
Oh yeah, there's like a flashback at the start, isn't there? Which I didn't really get.
Yeah, because it's her as a kid following her dad's ghost into the garden.
I think so, yeah.
But one thing I want to bring up is the casting for the child. I think the child and the main protagonist's actress, they were so well chosen. I could believe that little girl becomes the bigger girl. Really well casted, I thought. She's in the school, talking to the principal. And they basically send her to this place called Blackwood Academy, I think it is.
I can't remember much of it.
You really can't, can you?
I can't remember much of the details because honestly it wasn't that memorable.
I wonder why. And Kit's all like,
it's very slow. It's like that's like one of my main words to describe it. It's just really
1 hour
really
45
slow
minutes
at the start. Yeah, and like an hour of it takes an hour of it to get to the point, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So that you're noted down. They spent so much time. Like I think it would have been worth that long, slow introduction if the climax was worth it, but it just wasn't. It was just sort of this long, slow build up of a mixture of like Harry Potter meets Girl Interrupted or something like that. She turns up like a day early and makes a big deal out of that, and that wasn't explained as well.
Yeah.
She was just like, you brought me here a day early, and then it was almost as if to like express her spoiled brat side again, so or another reason for her to get mad at her mum.
Her mother's not really a disciplinary kind of person, is she? We'll count the introduction from the start till when she enters Blackwood. The thing with the Blackwood is, would you trust a school called Blackwood in the middle of a forest where it's misty?
It's a cool house.
It's a very cool house. It's very spooky.
It's very gothic. There's only like 5 of them.
Well, we're getting onto the characters now, really, aren't we? Not the plot.
Well, I've not said who they are.
I know, but that's a cool segue to characters. Characters. We have Kit, who we've just talked about, spoiled brat little lady. We have the stepmother with no disciplinary or backbone in her body.
Well, like, I don't think she should be called a spoiled brat because she's had like a pretty traumatic past. she just like comes across like that because she's got so much anger and regression. So
she's not a happy lady. We have David, who's the stepdad, who comes out with a few funny little lines, doesn't he?
Not really worth going into.
I know.
He's there at the start, probably just to show that her mum's moved on.
And she's not happy with it. That's literally, he's just a prop. And then we have the teachers, which I can't really...
Hardbroom.
Is that her name?
No.
No, because I can't
She
remember.
looks like Miss Hard, but she reminded me of Miss Hardbroom from The Worst Witch.
There's the music teacher, the art teacher.
She's the head teacher, isn't she?
She's the head teacher, but we have the maths teacher.
He looks like Harry Hill.
Harry Hill. What, the maths teacher? Oh yeah, I see
bald
that.
And he's got a big laugh.
I see that. So we've got Harry Hill, Mrs. Hardbroom, Daniel Radcliffe, the music teacher.
He's not Daniel Radcliffe.
He's not.
But I thought he was when I first saw him because it was a really dark shot, and I was just like, yeah.
Looks like Daniel Radcliffe. Then we have Snooty Miss English, who's the English teacher. She looks very snooty, doesn't she? Very mouse-like. And then we also have the Miss Hardbroom's strong Russian assistant lady, who's, I don't remember her name either.
God, miss the hard-faced woman who's just like
Mrs.
who
Hardface.
comes around and delivers all the meds.
Yeah. So we got those guys. We can't remember a single one of their names.
Well, the music teacher is actually the headmistress's son, isn't she?
Yeah.
Isn't he?
There is a relation there.
Yeah.
And we also have the girls, the other girls. Now their introductions are quite well made, aren't they?
Well, they're pretty typical of a film like this, where the characters all come in. One of them walks in.
Slow motion.
One of them walks in with a goldfish in a bag. She's obviously like the quirky nutter who just comes in. But she's going to be completely loopy.
Thing is, she doesn't get the other kids like they get a really cool introduction. You get to find out what they're good at, and then that's it.
There's not much development.
Their background, they're just background characters at the end.
There's not much development with them. I mean, there's so much. They get so much screen time, but you don't really know a lot about them.
I don't remember any of their names apart from Veronica.
No, yeah, well, she came in and you just like the typical scene of you just see her feet and dragging the thing along. She's wearing like torn jeans. Here's the bitch.
Yeah.
And then of course she was, because he panned up and her face was like. So.
Probably miserable. We've got the girls, and then we've got that's it really. It's just the ghosts, which takes us into the plot.
Whatever that is.
It's a tricky one, isn't it? The plot.
No, it's just over. I think it's a simple plot. It's a simple idea. You guessed it right away. I pretty much guessed it as soon as I started seeing them. Because like they go to they have their lessons, and suddenly one of them's like really good at reciting poetry or something, isn't it?
She's good at writing poetry.
Yeah, but she wouldn't be. The goldfish girl.
Artist. Painter.
Yeah, she paints like really good paintings, but she's sort of like as soon as I seen her like she sort of goes. When she's like painting,
Proper frenzy.
And you look like she's not there while she's painting it. It's like obvious she's getting possessed.
Yeah.
The concept and the plot of the film is such it's a really really good one.
I like it.
I just don't think it was delivered very well. No.
Yeah, the thing is like obviously the plot of it is it's meant to be this school gets really bad girls in. They claim that they're going to bring out their special talents, which they apparently have. Something you're advertising pins and needles. Just, pins and needles. So the whole plot premise is basically this school invites naughty girls to the school and claims that they're going to bring up their hidden talents.
Naughty girls. That sounds like completely different.
That's a completely other film that I watched the other day. This school invites these naughty girls into the school.
Stop calling them naughty girls.
Well, they are.
Mentally disturbed girls.
They invite these naughty, mentally disturbed girls into the school, and they claim they're going to bring out their hidden talents. But really, they're using...
gift.
Yeah, they're gifts.
It's a gift. It's always referred to as a gift.
As a gift. They're basically used as vessels to be possessed by great artists, great creatives. Now,
which you can kind of gather with
within
as soon as you see...
The subjects that the school provides is art, music, English and maths.
It's all creative.
I know it's all creative stuff, which I thought was really clever, because not a lot of...
There's maths though, maths isn't creative.
It can be very creative. Well, I think that's the science behind the world, isn't it? She says at the start, doesn't she, like, maths is everywhere.
Yeah.
So, I suppose looking at it in a creative fashion. But I like a movie that shows the importance of art anyways, because I think that was really well delivered.
It takes an hour and 9 minutes for it to actually reveal, and it reveals it like it's this massive hidden plot.
Oh my God.
It's like at the end where there's, she's like stood at the bottom of the stairs, isn't she? And she kind of
shouting at the teachers, going, "I can't believe you're doing this."
Yeah.
Well, we're using
she's basically explaining this. Sorry, Jessie. Research scene where she's there's always a research scene, isn't there?
Yeah, it's a montage of flicking.
Yeah, that's it.
That's all it really
the research montage. where she's looking through books and looking for the TC person. She finds out that this person's a painter.
And the painter girl signs her work with TC, doesn't she?
Yeah, it's just like, oh, yeah, that's it. That must be who it is.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is as well, back to that point, she signs her name as TC. Now, I believe this girl is not a TC. I don't think her name starts with a T or ends, or her name is a C.
It was a man, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a man. But the thing is, you would think straight away, if your girl is signing paintings as TC and her name's not TC, you're gonna think that's TC. So you think, oh, possession.
But it's obvious that she's getting possessed. It's
And
obvious.
again,
she's
that's
sitting
the
there
first
like
half.
this.
Yeah, and it's like the first half an hour, isn't it?
Yeah, in
And
the
it's just
first
like,
minutes, and then they don't click on that they're being used till vessels. So 1 hour and 9 minutes, and the
Until it's
friggin'
a
teacher
big
has to
reveal.
actually tell her that
And
that
it's
is actually
all-
what's going on.
They
And
know
we're
the
sitting
reveal,
here
they
like
do.
an hour into the film, like, duh.
But
So-
it's just this kind of they really milk the reveal, don't they? They really make it grand. Thunder strikes in the background. All the teachers are there. Kit's there going, "Why are you doing this? What's going on?" And the headmistress is like going, Miss Harper's like,
It's almost
"Oh,
as
yes."
borderline as dramatic as when the ring gets thrown into the fire in Mordor.
Oh yes,
It's
as
like-
dramatic.
Just as that, it's like that kind of climax. And they're revealing all these things that have been suggested. This would have probably been a good opportunity to put in a twist. So, you know, like...
Maybe the girls looking too much into it. Maybe they all actually are talented in that respect.
Yeah, or
That would be a
maybe...
good twist.
Because basically the teachers are just being like greedy little bitches, just using...
You're very
these-
bitch today, aren't you? You're using bitch a lot. You're Jesse Pinkman.
Anyway, I think we've talked enough about that.
Yeah, talked
And then
about
pretty
the
much I fell asleep.
You did fall asleep, I noticed. Well, we're going to go on to the climax now.
This didn't pass the...
No.
It didn't pass the fall asleep
Scale.
scale thing. Yeah.
I'll make a scale, basically. Awake or asleep, you know.
It's sleep-inducing.
Sleep-inducing. Now, the climax,
He's also sleep-inducing.
I found really funny because at this point you were asleep and...
After the first climax, I just
Yeah.
didn't think...
Now, in the scenes with the painter, again, it's all the painter, she's surrounded by candles and paint, locked in her room.
Oils, destructive oils.
A few things, paint's flammable, canvas is flammable,
Wouldn't they have been, like...
hang on, paint fumes can make you dizzy, so you can easily knock things over, but the room is surrounded by candles. Now, Miss Hardbroom, she's very much aware of this, but as soon as a fire happens inside the school, she's freaking out like it was a
As if
surprise.
for the first time in a paranormal horror ghost film, the fire brigade are on the scene.
Oh,
they?
yeah.
And as you feel like you've been, I don't know, it feels like almost, because I said it's very Harry Potter-ish and very gothic and very sort of fantasy, and that far out, it's so unusual to see the emergency services arriving at the scene. It's like, oh, suddenly we've come back into the modern world, because they wear like old-fashioned clothes and everything.
Yeah,
don't they?
I didn't think of it that way. That's quite clever.
So it's just so like weird to see the fire. I'm not saying they shouldn't have done that. I just think it was just so weird to
Well,
see.
the funny thing is, it's the biggest twist of the film.
Yeah.
The fire brigade comes. Yeah, what happened to the pills?
Oh,
What were the pills like?
I don't know.
The pills.
There was all these little things that got brought in, like the phone calls being recorded and.
Yeah, again, the phone call's being plugged in.
Well,
and
it
we're looking at each other.
suggested that the phone calls were being recorded. So, I don't know. Like all kinds of things are being suggested.
So
and
there's
then
the
there's
pills.
no follow on.
The pills, the phone. There's also the sleep paralysis where she wakes up and she sees herself asleep. Again, what's that about?
I started getting a lot more engaged because I thought, oh right, it's building up now. It's getting like the others, you know. It's getting like, I don't know. There was a specific scene that reminded me of the others as well, when she was hyperventilating, when she was hiding behind the curtain.
Oh god, yeah. Again, like, it's those kind of things. If she's hiding behind a curtain and her back's to the curtain, you don't put your back to a curtain. I'm sorry.
Just in life in general.
In life, you just never put your back to a curtain. It's
That's
rule number one. But
We do
we're kind of dwelling off subject here. But there's one first thing I want to bring up. It's Veronica. Veronica is quite an interesting person in terms of near the climax because her character as this big bitch essentially. She tries to set fire to Kit's hair, and that's disappointing.
Yeah, it's like the usual relationship between the badass and the main character.
Her sob story comes out of nowhere.
Yeah,
Like,
I woke up at that point, I think.
After the lady does the most stupid mistake of putting her back to the curtain, they see Veronica and she's like,
Well,
I'll tell you
Veronica pulls
outside.
the curtain, she rescues her from the curtain.
Kit's like, did you see it? Did you see the ghost? And Veronica goes, I'll tell you outside. Then her sob story comes out of nowhere. And then eventually she says, giraffes are cool. And I remember turning to you going, that's gonna play a role.
I was when I was asleep, I was half asleep and I woke up and then you were just like, I heard giraffes are cool and then you frantically scribbling down.
Yes, because I thought that's going to play a big role in the reveal. Maybe a giraffe comes with the fire engine. But no, disappointed. No giraffes. When the fire's going on, or it could be before the fire, or it could be what's caused the fire, they go to one of the other rooms and we're very expressive today, aren't we?
Fires go like that.
So they
Not
go
that, it
they,
doesn't rain fire.
they go to...
They're not in Mordor.
They go... They go to one of the kids' rooms where they see another girl who's being possessed. I think it's the goldfish girl, which is the painter, isn't she?
Mm.
It's always the painter. Painter's the most interesting character in this whole film. But she's there with all the candles.
She's
and everything.
always the victim though, isn't
She like
stuff happens to her and she doesn't have much to say about
I know,
it.
it's always Kit. You gotta feel sorry for Kit. But like she's laying there with her wrists slit, and the music teacher's there. They're like, "Oh my god, are you okay?" And
Well,
Kit,
he is a pathetic character.
oh, he is. And then Kit runs out, and then the teacher runs after Kit, and I'm just like, "There's a lady here, a little girl with her lips slit open, by a window, clearly suicidal, surrounded by paint, fire, and fumes, and you're gonna leave her there." And then when they get downstairs, she jumps out the window, and the music teacher and Kit's like, "Oh my god!" And it's just like, duh. There's so many flaws in this film. Like there are so many bits and pieces that are just crap. Veronica gets caught, and then she gets possessed, and it's one of those clearly like white eyes, green skinned.
Oh my god, yeah, she becomes like the devil or something, doesn't she? And it's like, oh my god, like look how many films are they trying to put in together here? They're putting like Harry Potter meets The Girl Interrupted meets The Exorcist. Like what's
It's one
next?
big film gangbang. That's what it is, and it's the spawn of that.
And the curtains are the
curtains,
perpetrators.
the big perpetrators. The uninvited guests.
What is this review like? We're just
don't
talking crap. It's turning into the film. It's just spouting out
this is
lots
the film.
lots of rubbish.
Great quote from you. Things are just happening. That's it. Things are just happening. Like
Yeah.
that's the climax. Things just happen. You know?
Yeah, it's just like things are just happening now, and there's no there's no explanation.
Well,
Where does the scene where she looked like she was gonna pull a mandrake out of the?
oh yeah. That's when they stopped giving them the pills, and that's not
I
addressed.
don't even understand the pills. They just go around
Yeah,
taking the pills.
it's like we'll stop giving the pills because they're funded by the government, and they're like, "Can you do that?" I just did, and it's like, then what's the point of the pills? Oh yeah, and Kit's saved by Ghost Dad.
Oh
The
yeah,
dad
that
comes
was
back
kind
and
of
said-
predictable, wasn't
Yeah.
it, as well? So.
It's like, am I dying, Dad? Yes.
It's
And
just
then
an
she
ambulance.
Yeah, it's like again, the dad is a crap character, even though he's dead. Like, it's just there's nothing.
Okay.
There is nothing.
If they'd been
to
dead,
the
you'd
film.
expect him to be a bit more exciting.
I did. I expected a bit more personality from the ghost. Yeah, I got Frightday rating 2.5.
That's generous.
It's generous because I quite liked I like the characters. I wish they were a bit more fleshed out.
I would say 2.
You would say 2, yeah.
No, 1.5 maybe.
No, I think we meet in the middle and say 2.
2.
We'll say 2. 2
Yeah,
stars.
2 stars.
There's probably things I've cut out of this review, but there is I got 3 pages of notes. Thank you very much for watching, and we shall see you next week.
And hopefully I won't end up like this through the next film.
A sleeping baby. See you later.